Australia's obsession with SUVs started more than 20 years ago with the launch of the RAV4 in 1994. The RAV4 was built as a mini Land Cruiser, even though it didn't have a transfer case. The following year, the RAV hit the mainstream with the more rugged and practical 5-door that boasted better capability off-road. Fast forward a couple of decades and SUVs have become not only the latest fashion statement, but have replaced the quintessential large Aussie family car. SUVs are no longer about getting off the beaten track. Instead, they have a clear focus on style, cachet and comfort. The Volkswagen Tiguan is one of the best examples of this new breed of SUV. So is the traditional SUV even still relevant? Well, we've brought in the latest generation RAV4 and the all-new generation Tiguan to have a look. The Tiguan we are driving is the mid-spec 132 TSI Comfort line, priced from $41,490 plus on-roads, an equipment level up compared with the RAV4. We have the base GX model, which is priced from $37,490 plus on-roads. Both cars are powered by 4-cylinder engines. The RAV houses a 2.5-litre naturally aspirated engine paired with a 6-speed automatic, while the Tiguan has a 2-litre turbocharged unit mated to a 7-speed DSG. Inside, the Tiguan has an 8-inch colour touchscreen display that includes Apple CarPlay, Android Auto or MirrorLink. Now the centre console is slightly smaller than in the RAV, but the Tiguan does have 2 cup and bottle holders front and rear. I particularly like the handy tray tables that are on the back of the front seats. Given the RAV4 is longer, wider and taller than the Tiguan, the interior space measurements show how well Volkswagen has packaged the Tiguan, as it has more head and legroom in the front. It also has more rear headroom. The Tiguan has a 12-volt power socket in the boot, levers to drop the seats and a light. The RAV4 has more of a utilitarian feel to it, a certain robustness. It's not particularly nice, but it certainly does feel like it would have longevity. The cloth seats have a nice feel to them, and, like the Tiguan, are only manually adjustable. The RAV has longer seat cushions in the front and better seat travel. It also has more legroom and more rear seat width. There's a 6.1-inch touchscreen media system with Bluetooth connectivity, auxiliary port and USB inputs. Now, there's 2 illuminated vanity mirrors, one for the passenger and one for the driver. And there's a good amount of oddment storage with 2 cup holders and 2 bottle holders in the front and the rear. The RAV has the largest boot. It's longer, wider, has more height and more cargo length with the rear seats folded. The Tiguan is composed and refined on the road, and the steering is direct and communicative. The Tiguan suffers from turbo lag when you want to accelerate quickly, and this is accentuated by the dual clutch gearbox. The DSG does get a little confused around town and can be a bit clunky. The hesitation does tend to kick in when you're trying to get into a gap in traffic or cross at an intersection. Once you do get past the hesitation though, acceleration is strong, gear changes are quick and they're smooth. As long as you don't put your foot down too hard, you can drive around it in most scenarios. The ride is firm yet comfortable, but the suspension can be quite jarring over harsh bumps and large irregularities. The RAV4 is not hampered by DSG oddities or turbo issues. Acceleration is strong and the engine actually has a raughty note to it. The gear changes aren't as quick as in the Tiguan, but they're smooth and refined. The RAV4 is much softer sprung, body control is not as good on the black stuff, and low-speed ride can be a bit jittery. On rougher roads, however, the RAV handles larger irregularities well, and it is more composed on the dirt. Claimed combined consumption for the RAV is 8.5 litres per 100 kilometres, and on our real-world testing, we averaged 9.5. The Tiguan is claimed to use 7.5, and on our real-world fuel testing, we returned 8.9. Both cars have all-wheel drive systems. The Tiguan operates predominantly as a front-wheel drive, with the system distributing the torque between the front and rear wheels as needed to reduce slip. The Tiguan has 4-motion active control, which allows the option of changing off-road driving profiles using a rotary dial. Off-road, the Tiguan tends to skip about and becomes unsettled across corrugations and ruts. It must be pointed out, however, it was riding on on-road bias tyres. The Tiguan was quieter on the dirt than the RAV. The RAV operates as an all-wheel drive as well and has automatic locking hubs and a centre differential lock, which theoretically makes it more capable off-road than the Tiguan. However, the RAV's ground clearance is 178 mils compared with the Tiguan's of 201. The RAV was quite composed off-road and wasn't nearly as upset by the corrugations and ruts as the Tiguan. So is the traditional SUV still relevant? Absolutely. If you want to get off the beaten track, then that's where the RAV4's ruggedness becomes part of its appeal. Not to mention Toyota's reputation for bulletproof reliability, especially if you really want to experience the great outdoors. If, however, you're more interested in staying on the black stuff, then that's where this new breed of SUVs is a better choice. The Tiguan is a refined, premium offering, better suited to an urban lifestyle.